Yeah, I hope we are live. Good evening, everyone. This is Srinath. Welcome to my channel, Srinivasa Tech Solutions. Today, we're going to talk about some security related stuff. We know that as a software engineer, how important it is to create a secure applications, especially the web applications, which is exposed to other users either internally or externally. So even if you see current trend in the market, there is more demand for the people who know DevOps plus security, right? And also there is a multiple scanners and static code analysis, dynamic web application scannings, everything in place in every organizations to keep these vulnerabilities as low as possible. And this is part of our DevOps culture also, right? So in this aspect, today we're going to explore what are the different types of hacking or attacks majorly found when we talk about web applications, and how we can learn those attacks to make sure we will avoid that situation when we develop our applications, right? So with that, I will introduce the website of time, that is hacksplaning.com. You can spell that correctly. It's not planning, it's planning, right? So it's quite different, but yeah. And once you type that, either you have to log in with your GitHub account or you can log in with your Google account. And once you have the login, this is the page you see. Here it says security training for web developers. So it's completely free of cost. So comprehensive security training for web developers. I mean, here it says specifically for web developers, but it applies to everyone, even for the nowadays the app developers, people who do internal applications. It suits everyone. Covers ever major security vulnerabilities you are likely to face. And the good part of this is this are all not. This website is keep on updating. I can see even the AA level attacks also they covered here. We are going to see that in later part. And currently we are in live, so feel free to add any comments or questions in this chat. So no nonsense advice for developer in hurry. So here you can say get started, see what we cover. Okay. Before that, we just scroll and understand what else we have. Make your development team into security experts. That's true, right? If you can able to remediate the security breach during the development phase itself, that will going to save a lot of cost, because in the current situation we see many people are many companies are paying back for this kind of attacks, right? They have to bear the huge cost, and that's the reason there is a high demand for security team, basically who does any certifications on security levels, penetration testings, vulnerabilities testing, right? Any kind of automation testings, tools based testings, those kind of stuffs. Um, so here in this, I have them hack real vulnerability applications in the browser, then see how code can be made secure. So they are also suggesting how the code will made secure to avoid this. So they're telling that currently they have served already 5,23,000 users, and enterprise license I think for the paid customers they have already. And the top 10 vulnerabilities are covered. Currently they're telling 39 are there. Yeah, That's all, and then we can get started. Before that, we'll see what they cover. So everything you need to know about the web security in one place. That's the caption. Is your web application vulnerable? Learn about all major vulnerabilities. Threaten your stack and hack real vulnerabilities applications to see how it works. Okay. So I think first one they actually telling us to do something so that we will feel the real attack how it goes. So guessing the password didn't work. Let's try adding a code characters. This is I think this actually overrides the SQL query because normally you apply where condition with both single quotes, and if you add the another single quote, it's going to take this as other parameter, and the conditions sets true and it pass through. So let's see. Currently there is a error occurred. Okay, this is just the giving the examples here. Okay, we're going to try it real time, but this is what they're telling. And then assess the risk, protect yourself, test your knowledge. Questions also there. And then based on these languages, they're also giving the recommendations. Let's get started. And it's asking for credentials. So I'm using my Gmail account to log in, and I can see there are lessons. These are the common vulnerabilities. One is so this is what I'm talking about, AI related bias and unreliability. Basically, machine learning is prone to bias and then unreliability, and you need to put in safeguards to protect that. That's what they're telling, and this is prompt injection, and similarly data extraction attacks. SQL injection, this is what many has done these kind of things nearly this, but now we have done overcome this. Similarly, cross-site scripting, and then command executions, clickjacking, cross-site request forgery, directory traversal, reflected XSS, DOM-based XSS. So these are related to web technologies primarily, and then file upload vulnerabilities, broken access control, open redirects, unencrypted communication, user enumerations, information leakage, password mismanagement, privilege escalation, session fixation, weak session IDs. I mean, most of the times, if the session IDs are weak, how it could lead to vulnerabilities, XML bombs, XML external entities, denial of service attacks. This is very frequent. I have seen many of these denial of service attacks are very common. And then email spoofing, malvertising, lax security settings, toxic dependence. Most of the times we add dependencies in our Maven related files, and there are chances when we are using these third-party libraries, there could be a toxic dependencies. And then logging and monitoring, buffer overflows, insecure design, host header poisoning, server-side request forgery, mass assignment, prototype pollution, regex injection, remote code execution, cross-site script inclusion, downgrade attacks, DNS poisoning, SSL striping, subdomain squatting. Think pretty much. I think more than 30 plus. They have them. They have it here, and we're going to try each of this in our live sessions. Not today. I mean, even in the subsequent live sessions. Also, I think we have enterprise licensing versions also available for the costing, and they also have some book, web application security is the book name, and what will be inside everything they have given. This is also one of the addition from their side. And then they're also sharing the top 10. Usually uh, in any major big organizations, they will not perform all kind of vulnerabilities testing. They will do only the top 10, and this top 10 is refresh every now and then, because uh, they don't I mean, time is money for them, so they cannot perform all the tests, so they'll just pick the top 10. They configure the attacks or vulnerability checks based on these top 10s in their tools, and then they will try to perform this. So here the recommendation of must and should tested, they have shared here. So the Open Web Application Security Project is the one recommending these kind of security risks to be tested. One is broken access control, and then directory traverses, cross-site request forgery. I mean, under this broken access control means these three will come. Similarly, cryptographic failures are usually unencrypted communications and injections. We can see SQL injections and command execution. Yeah, I mean, I think all this we have seen, so they just categorized into 10 broad categories, and then they added each one. I mean, whichever is relevant to that category. And then we have PCI compliance, which is basically stands for payment card industry. So this is also important one wherever the payment involves, because the payment is the only thing where we have to communicate to external party most of the time, and this is where most of the places you can see the potentials of hacking. And I think this talks about the standards of data security here. Yeah. So lessons, you start with the easiest one. So SQL injection, I'm very familiar. So you can see in the beginning they have given. Let me try to zoom in if possible. Okay. Okay, no control. Okay. Yeah. So this is a vulnerable application. We'll be trying to hack with SQL injection attack. So this particular application is vulnerable. So we try to inject the attacks now. So here is the application logs. Watch what happens here when you interact with vulnerable applications. Okay. And go ahead and try logging in with the following credentials. Okay. So I'm pausing the user, not right. email.com, and then password as password, fail login, credential didn't match, login failed, and this is the query I was talking about. There is a query which is select star from users where email equal to username and password. This is the basic one. This is a college student or school students will write the query like this, and yeah, and we'll see how it can be hacked. Okay, you're guessing the password didn't work. Let's try adding the code. End of the password. I'm just adding the code now. I'm running now. Unexpected, what is telling? User attempted login. Invalid SQL. Yeah, still didn't work. The application crashed with unexpected error. What could that mean? So it's basically crashed it. So let's see what the issue. This indicates that the code character messed something up in an unexpected way. Oh, we didn't notice the error. Okay, unexpected error occurred. Okay. Initially, it was saying that login failed, but when we added this, it got attack. Yeah, I thought it will pass through. Okay, and they're telling this what the application code looks like behind the scenes. Yeah, and then enter the password and watch the code window. Okay, password. Yeah, the code is inserted directly into the SQL string and terminates the query early. This what caused the syntax error we saw in the logs. Okay. This behavior indicates that the application might be vulnerable to the correct, obviously. So how to mitigate this? Enter the following credentials. Login. Okay. This is another way, I think. 1 equal to 1. So here we are adding another class. If you notice. So this allowed me. So by default I am making the password as empty and then applying the condition if 1 equal to 1. Obviously it will go pass through it. It is a valid condition. And then to avoid the other single quotes, I am just doing the commenting. In SQL, if you place two hyphens, which means it's a comment. Very cleverly planned, right? So the one single code is to complete the password string, and we have added space and we added another condition which is R, and either one has to pass, right? So in this case 1 equal to 1 got pass, and I can able to log in now. Welcome back. So we are in. We successfully gained access to application without having and guess the password using SQL injection. So this is the, I mean, I know what is SQL injection bit, but Well, during performing this, I think it's a real feel. Right. I think the other injections, other attacks also will be the same kind of thing, where you can really feel. We'll see how whether they will able to allow us to mitigate this. Okay, the the characters you entered cross the database to ignore the rest of the question, allowing you to be authenticated without having some right. Got it. Now we know how SQL Engine works. Let's learn how to protect us. Yeah, they're telling that. Let's see. And for that, occasional easy, devastating. Tut, tut. Okay, one is parameterized. For example, secure way of running SQL query is parameter statement. Okay. Okay. Instead of a parameterized thing, if you are passing like this is dangerous thing. Got it. And also using ORM. ORM is yeah, strong one again. Also, they have given the code how we can write in different languages. That's nice. So basically, instead of placing the value here, they made it parameterized and they're running the prepare statements. So basically, we're running prepare statements instead of running directly in a query. Good. We are. It's good that they're telling even a code sample also. This for the Spring with entity class. You can also check it your code, whichever language you're using. So today we covered this one. We'll try for other things later during our continuous sessions, live sessions. Thank you for following this long. We'll keep going on this maybe weekly basis, and we'll explore all the 30 plus vulnerabilities. Let let's make a secure and strong applications. Think this. I'm concluding my live stream. Thank you very much.